Hello and welcome. I am Horror Movie Dad, and this is Dad and Dinero Discussions. Right now it's just me, but Kay Dinero will be joining us shortly. This is going to be our first Dad and Dinero Discussions on TikTok. We're excited. We're going to be talking about the brand new Hellraiser, released in 2022. As we wait for him, I'll say a few things about myself. I am Horror Movie Dad, and I'm on TikTok. I'm on others as well. And I see Kay Dinero is now here. I'm going to send him an invite. And you go. He has accepted my invitation. As we can see, he is loading up right now. I can hear him. I don't know if I can see him, though. Oh, there he is. What's up?
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
I'm good. Let me control. Oh, there we go. Whoa.
There you go.
Much better.
So eventually, I'm going to try to figure out how we get a split screen for our lives, man. I got to figure it out. I was looking online a little bit, but I couldn't get it right. So we're going to go with this, and then hopefully we'll get it better as the time goes on. All right, so I am Horror Movie Dad, and this is Kay Dinero.
And I'm Kay Dinero.
Right. And yes. So I'll let you say, what do we do, Kay Dinero? What are these Dad and Dinero discussions that we do?
So actually, this is our second TikTok Dad and Dinero, which is D3, Dad and Dinero Discussions. And the first time we did a TikTok, it was kind of, testing out the waters.
Right.
And now we're officially going to do our first TikTok live on the reboot of Hellraiser, which came out on Hulu October 12th. So the movie's been out for a while. Everyone's been able to see it, well, hopefully, and here we are talking about it.
Right. So as you mentioned before, we did have kind of a test run of live, because we haven't done live on TikTok before. So we did a little test run, tried to figure some things out so we can be ready for our actual official first D3, which is Dad Dinero Discussions D3, if you didn't get that. So, and what we do is we every other week, normally on a Sunday, it's mostly on a Sunday, maybe on a Friday, we will go live at 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we will discuss a horror movie. And it's a horror movie that we take turns choosing. So Kay Dinero was the one who chose this discussion, which was the new Hellraiser. And I believe this is going to be overall our 42nd. I got to double check on that, but
let's double check. All right, if it's up.
So I will check that as we're going.
Okay.
So it's our 40. I believe it's our 42nd. But what we do is I would then record these and we post them. So these are not gone forever. But what we like to do is we engage whoever joins, and we talk to each other, and we just talk through the movie. And that's what we'll do.
Absolutely.
So I guess
I hear my cat. Sorry.
It's all right. I guess before I kind of read the synopsis of this, before I do that, let everybody know why you chose for us to discuss the new Hellraiser.
I chose the new Hellraiser because it's one of my favorite movies. I've always been fascinated with Clive Barker, and I think that Clive Barker is a very fascinating human being. And I never got to read the books that he had wrote before he had directed the movie. So, I just, watching this new movie helped me dive deep into the Clive Barker universe. So I'm super excited about that, and I can't wait to talk about the movie with you, brother.
Yeah, it sounds good. And welcome to those who I see coming and joining and leaving and joining. We're talking about the new Hellraiser. And So what I'll do is I'll read the quick synopsis here in case nobody knows what Hellraiser is, but I'm pretty sure everybody knows what Hellraiser is. But I'd like to read the synopsis. You want to know the official word from the movie of what it's about. So here it is.
All right, let's hear it.
Hellraiser, released in 2022. Unlock your fears. A young woman struggling with addiction comes into possession of an ancient puzzle box, unaware that its purpose is to summon the Cenobites, a group of sadistic supernatural beings from another dimension. So there we go. That's the official word right there. So what we kind of do is we basically just talk about the movie. We don't have to go in order. We don't just tell you what the movie's about. If you have not seen Hellraiser, the 2022 release, or probably even, was it 1980? What was the original release? 1980?
1987.
87. Okay. We'll probably talk about that a little bit. Maybe even Hellraiser 2, Hellbound will jump in here.
Oh, yeah.
And probably all the other Hellraisers as well. We might say some things. So spoiler alert about every single Hellraiser movie ever made. But for sure, spoiler alert for Hellraiser 2022. So if you don't want to be spoiled with anything, you could leave, but I don't want you to leave.
Yeah, we want you to stay. Get involved. Write a comment. Say hi. We'll say hi back.
Right, for sure. So, we see people jumping in here. Thanks for joining us. And we'll start it off. So, the puzzle box, Dinero, the puzzle box is based around a bunch of different configurations, right?
Yes.
So I think what this Hellraiser movie did that was a lot different than the original Hellraiser is it focused on those configurations a lot more than any other Hellraiser ever has.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wish I read the books or the book just so I know a little bit more of the backstory of all this. But I've never read the book. I don't think you've ever read the book.
No, is it called The Hellbound Heart?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
And there's multiple books, right? It's not just one; it's a few, right?
Yeah, it's a few. So I'm not sure 100% with 100% accuracy how many books there are and what they're officially called. But we know Clive Barker was all about the books, and we know that in the book, the original Pinhead was of the female gender, I guess you could say.
That's right. That is right. She was the original. What is it? She had a name, right? There was a certain name for what she was. I can't remember right now, but
right.
Yeah, she had a name. I forget what it was. But let me ask you this question: did you watch the original Hellraisers before you rewatched the new one? Did you ever do that?
So I did not watch all of them.
Okay.
I watched the first and the second Hellraiser because those are the best two by far. The originals. Number 3 is okay. Number 4 is okay, but after number 3 and 4, everything is just garbage. So I'll probably never watch any of those again after number 4. So it's good to see that this kind of almost came full circle and really started focusing on creating better content for this one, for sure.
No, absolutely. I think that the first 4 are definitely all rewatchable. I want to actually watch Bloodline again. I'm not a real big fan of the Hellraiser 3. Out of all 4 of them, I think Bloodline was better than Hellraiser 3.
You know what? That could be an argument for sure.
Yeah.
I like Bloodline a lot too. Well, don't like it a lot. It's average. So is number 3. Number 3 is average. The only reason why I like number 3 a lot is because we get a lot of FaceTime from Pinhead in number 3. And
hold on, we got Spooky Town crew just joined.
Okay.
So I think somebody who's actually watching right now, hopefully they're still here, has watched the movie. I'm trying to get a name of the people that are joining and try to spur some conversation with anyone that so for anyone that just joined us right now, we are talking about the movie Hellraiser and the universe involved. So go again. The Bloodline versus Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth.
Yeah, yeah, and truthfully, they're both in need of a rewatch for me. It's been a while, but I've seen them both a few times, and it's been a few years since I've seen both of those. But still, it's apples or oranges with Hellraiser 3 or Bloodline. You know what I mean? It depends on what you want, but everyone always calls Bloodline Hellraiser in space. You always got to have that
Yeah.
type of thing going on. So, and it also kind of explains the older movies. It's almost like a rehash of the older movies as well. So, but I did see that in theaters, though. I remember I saw that in that San Mateo theater that was right across from the Hillsdale Mall. Do you remember the theater that was right there?
Dude, I saw the Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker movie there with Bobby with Bobby.
Bobby Bubble Bath.
Yeah. I saw that the old Hillsdale Mall right next to the TGI Fridays, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I know that spot.
Rush Hour.
Yeah. You know what's funny is they still have the Rush Hour. Yes, they still have the Century 12 in Redwood City still up off the peninsula. Did you know that?
I didn't even know it was still there because don't they have a bunch of apartment buildings out in front of that place now?
No, I believe it's still there.
Oh,
I'm gonna
wow.
have to Google. I'm gonna have to like Google map that afterwards.
Anyway, we're talking about where we grew up. So so if anyone doesn't know, which I'm sure nobody does, is Dinero and I have been friends since freshman year of high school, and now we're a lot older. We're not very old, but we're a lot older. So we've been friends for a long time, and we used to sleep over each other's houses, and we would just watch horror movies and have a good time. And so we've continued that, and we're going through TikTok and doing that. So, but let's get back to the movie a little bit. So what I notice is they focus a lot on the configurations, and every configuration, if you have to move on, you have to make a sacrifice. A sacrifice needs to be made for the
So okay. So when we talked, first of all, how do you like my Metallica shirt?
Oh, I didn't even notice it. I like it a lot. That's
like
awesome.
That. Almost looks like a Cenobite too, right?
Yeah.
Or like a dead one, or like a skull one. You know what I mean? But
Where's your crown?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Were you able to save the last live that we did?
I was.
Okay, cool. And were you able to record it, or like how are you able to post it? Like,
I was able
is there any
able to download it on my phone. I have not posted it anywhere yet.
Okay, so we have to figure that out.
Yeah, so for sure, what goes on is if you want to see, this is our 42nd. I still have to fact check that. This is our 42nd E3.
Oh my God, this guy. Sorry.
That's our, no.
My cat is trying to crash the TikTok right now. So I'm gonna try to get him. If he keeps making noises, I'm gonna get him to go.
It's all good.
To the other room. Sorry.
It's all good.
All right.
Yeah. Remember my kids ran into a couple D3s in the past, so same
okay.
Dad, what are you doing? Are you talking horror movies again? Yes.
I know, right?
So, but what was I saying? That posting these. We have all of our previous D3s recorded and posted on my YouTube channel, Dad Watches Horror Movies. But so if you're interested, check that out. But we're on TikTok right now. So we'll be on the TikTok hype. So from what compared, I'm gonna bring something up that's always been a pet peeve of mine about these Hellraiser movies, and this one, this brand new one, this reboot, actually made me a little bit happier in this topic. For this topic, is all the previous Hellraiser movies, the box, and what's the puzzle box officially called?
I thought it was always called Pandora's box, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's, you know what? I'll fact check that too. But after I go through this thought, usually in all these movies, you know, they get the puzzle box and they look at it and they figure it out like that. Like they know how, oh, it's like, oh, let's do this and this. And like, dude, how do you figure out a puzzle box within like minutes? Like
Did you,
two,
okay,
three.
okay. Did you like how, okay, keep it real. Do you like the original concept of the box always staying the same way, where they figure out the box always? It's the little thumb circle in the middle, and then it opens. That the part of the box opens, it twists, it closes. Very simple. Or did you kind of learn to like the new way that the box changes to all the configurations? Like
I,
because go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah, I liked, and this is getting to the point I was gonna say is I liked this way, the new one, because it it shows that you got to work a little bit to open this box.
Yeah, you
It,
do. You
oh, put your
do.
thumb around it, and then it'll fly out of your hands, and then it'll go, and then the Cenobites are here. I'm like, dude, it's too easy.
You know what I like too? I like the fact that you use the box for your advantage. You still like are using the box whether you want to use it for power, for sensation, for I mean they had like all like I think there was like 6 or 7 different configurations. And I believe what we talked about last time, right? Was they said there was this configuration called the layment configuration. And I think I'm not sure if layment configuration was sensation, or when at the end of the movie where they ask her what she wants and she chooses love, I think. And if you choose love, then you are not doing anything. Like
Mm-hmm.
you choose nothing, and they actually like kind of they make fun of you because I feel like I like the way that the Cenobites are trying to trick you into you know doing a configuration that makes you like you're gonna be underneath their thumb forever.
Right.
And I feel like they almost like suffer too because they have to do this forever. And I think it, the word, what is it? Misery loves company. I think that's a great quote for the movie Hellraiser because I think these Cenobites are all in misery. But
Right.
whether do you like the misery or do you hate it? You know what I mean?
Right. And you know what? You're jumping into a big point that I wanted to mention.
Okay, good. Oh,
Which
hold on. Let me give hold on. I see Deuce here. Shout out to Deuce here.
okay.
Um he's a really good friend of mine in town. He's a great guy. I think he's still watching right now. I hope he is, but everybody that is watching, yeah, thank you for watching. We're talking about Hellraiser. So
Yeah.
so go ahead, Josh.
Um. Yeah. So I guess I'll jump. I'm not going to completely jump towards the end, but we know kind of the last scene that happens before the credits roll, which I won't mention yet. But that scene made me realize, or at least think, that all the Cenobites were created that way because
Yep.
puzzle box they chose some sort of, I guess, reward or afterwards, and they became a Cenobite. So that's what I'm thinking all these Cenobites are, and I'm thinking that's pretty correct. But
They all did the Leviathan configuration.
right, right,
And the Leviathan, I think you become an audience to God. You hear the I forget what it speaks. You become the audience of God, and it's like this. I really paused during the movie and tried to read the actual pages from the book because
oh,
when they did that, it actually like helped me get deeper into the movie. And when
mhm.
I found out like all the configurations, like Pinhead, she did the Leviathan configuration, and in the first one, Doug Bradley, he did the Leviathan. In Hellraiser 2, the Doctor did the Leviathan, and they even showed like their own way in Hellraiser 2. Remember they put them in a box. Remember that crazy box, and they just configure them. So
Yeah,
I actually like when they did the new way for the Leviathan configuration, I thought it was like way cool. The way that like they showed stuff with the feet and the hands and the face, and it was just like it was out of control, bro. I liked it. Like I said, I liked the movie, but when I watched it the second time, I liked it even more.
You know, I'll agree with you because the first time I watched it, I was like,
Yeah.
and then I watched it again with more of an open mind because when I watch a movie, especially if we're going to discuss it on a D3, um, I make sure that I'm paying a lot of way more attention. I'm actually writing notes, just and I have my notes right in front of me, and I just randomly just jump to a part. So I'm paying a lot more attention, especially if I'm watching it twice. And I can say that my when we do discuss our ratings at the end, I did improve my rating from the first time from the to the second time of me watching this. So
Hold on, let me give. Hold on. You know,
yeah.
we
Oh
always
yeah,
like to
yeah.
give.
Just call anybody
Okay,
out here.
so I want to give a shout out to Tally Porvita 408, who is watching our TikTok live. It's like the actual first one. We used to do it on Instagram, and you're watching it right now. So thank you again. We're talking about the movie Hellraiser. Oh shit, I just went dark. Um, and yeah, I don't know if you've seen the movie. If you have, you can leave a comment below. But if you haven't, sorry for the spoilers. But we're here to talk about Hellraiser. And I wanted to say this. Okay. I thought what is her name? Jamie Clayton, who played the new Hellraiser. I thought she did an amazing job. I really did. I thought she was stone cold, fucking just just I got like goosebumps, like the hair, like in the second time when I really like dug deep into it, I was like, man, she fucking nailed this, dude, because you really have to when you watched Evan Peters do the whole Dahmer monster show, like you really have to go into a dark place to, really portray this character. It's not like, me and you like in high school doing a freaking play, you know what I mean? Like they're really diving deep into their character. So,
Right.
watching her performance I think was really, really good. There was one scene that I thought that was really cool was there was this Asian girl who got set up by the guy who and you know what when I first watched the movie the whole time I knew that that boyfriend had something sneaky going on. He had what are you gonna do? Like let's go to this oh I got this spot and they left this what was it left in? It was one of those freaking container like a shipping container, right? And I
Right.
know the password, and then you got this small fucking like safe. Like, get out of here, dude.
Yeah. You can tell something fishy was going on to begin with, but that's always kind of how it works. There's nowadays with movies are not very straightforward anymore because there's so many stories that have already been done. So there's always a lot of twists and turns, and someone you could trust at the beginning of the movie is always someone you can't trust at the end.
Oh, what I was saying. One of her really cool moments is when you first see her. It's the Asian girl, right? And and I really like the scene where she's in the car, but then she gets dragged to hell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the Leviathan or wherever they're going.
Yeah.
And I like the way that the back of the bunk where she's at stretched out, and then it turned into where they're at. And there was at least 4 or 5 times in the movie that I really liked the way that they would set up the way that they would come. And when she gets her and she starts throwing the chains at her, and her body goes into like S-shaped position,
Mm-hmm.
and she asks her, she's like, "What do you at? What do you search for?" And who like she says that she loves Jesus or God, and she's all, well, "What are you searching for?" And she's all salvation. And then she says like she kind of like laughs but doesn't, and like I don't know, I can't remember exactly what she said, but that scene was freaking So cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was one of the like it's you first see her, she comes out, and then bam,
Mhm.
like they're saying like crazy like meanings of why they do this shit, and this girl's like trying to say salvation, and ain't no salvation is gonna save you.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Speaking about how the Cenobites came in to like come into our dimension or to the earthly dimension, I love the transitions too. The way the ground opens up, or at the hospital, the walls open up, or when she's in the
yeah, they really did a good job with that.
sudden she turns around and everybody's really far away, and it's really cool how that transition works.
They almost made the way that when they come into real life is how the box transforms. That's
Hmm.
what I thought was really cool too, because when the box would change, it would do all these mechanical moves, and then when they would come into real life, everything in real life would change mechanically. And like I said before, there's a lot of imagery that when you watch it again, like in the beginning of the movie, what is that guy's name again? The guy that does the Leviathan configuration again. His name was something. I forget what it was, but he has this statue, or like he has this like porcelain or silver like statue in the back in one of his rooms, and it's like someone kneeling with their hands up, like it's like someone like bowing, but they can't do anything because their hands are like tied. And then when that girl's brother goes into the bathroom, the faucet is the same shape as that fucking statue. And so like the more
Oh,
times that you watch it, there's so much more to it that I think you have to watch it more and more just to keep seeing like all this stuff that they're like Easter eggs. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What was your favorite? What was your favorite scene that like was like okay, this is good.
mhm. um, my favorite scene is okay. It's towards the end of the movie, and it's when all the Cenobites are kind of outside that mansion. Okay, and there's that one Cenobite that has like the black eyes. It's just straight black, and
Yeah.
and she, or I guess it, puts her arms out and her fingers split,
Yes.
like they on both hands they split right here, and it's
Yep.
all the way up to her elbow.
Yeah.
She's walking around like this. That was my favorite. That was my favorite right there.
I like the part when one of the Cenobites had their flesh um like nailed over their face so they couldn't see.
Uh
And
huh.
so they're just like walking around like they're just this like thing that runs. Like I remember they let it off into the house,
Yeah.
and then you actually see what the face looks like because it gets stuck in between these two gates, and
Right.
then you see the actual face, which was really cool. I mean, I thought, what the hell was that guy's name, dude? The guy that owned the mansion. You should
Uh,
probably look this up.
it's
His name.
actually, see. I'm looking right now.
Hey, the Weirdo Police one has joined. His name. The Weirdo Police has joined.
What's up, weirdo police?
Weirdo Police. These names, man.
Dude, who is this guy?
He's got
Uh,
a very prominent name.
right. Oh, it's Voight.
It's Voight. Okay.
Voight.
Okay. So I like the fact. Which configuration did Voight have? Was it? It was Lament, right? It was
Lem-
Lament. Shit.
was it Lament or Leviathan? Was the one?
No, Leviathan is the configuration that turns them into because they seek power.
Okay,
Leviathan is
that's the.
power.
So maybe it was Lament.
Lament was sensation.
Right, and that's what
So
she chose at the end, right?
no, she chose love, I think.
Riley. Her name's Riley. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but
But I thought for him, like he thought he was doing. Remember in the beginning, he was doing all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And then he got the final guy, and he gets to he gets to see what he can become, and he chose the wrong configuration, and because he chose sensation, that freaking big harmonica looking thing, I don't know what the fuck it was. It looked like a big old harmonica, and it was just like it was wrapping around his organs. I thought that was really cool, and the way he acted, like when it would turn on, like I really felt him, like he'd just go, like like you see it just like start turning,
Right.
and he's just like I'm like, damn, this guy's pretty good, because I know exactly how that would feel if that was probably me.
Yeah, what was it like? He wanted what did he want from the Cenobites? He wanted constant euphoria or constant
Sensation. He
sensation.
wanted to feel,
Yeah,
yeah,
he wanted constant like euphoria type sensation, and instead they gave him they put like some sort of device in his body that attached to all his nerves and would move his nerves around and just
yeah.
make
He
him
got he got
straight
he got
into
F's for sure.
body.
He got
So
F's.
pleasure and pain are one and the same, my man.
I always thought it was okay. So when I was watching this, right, um, I noticed that when I was watching it, the person that I was watching it with, they were like, I really felt like this movie was more pain than pleasure. She's like, I don't see any pleasure in this movie. All I felt was pain. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, when I watched the first Hellraisers, it was very innuendo. It was very sexual. It was very there was a lot of sexual innuendo going on with
Right.
everything, especially like you know, if you press pause, and I know when you did your TikTok with the what did they call that wall? Was it something? Ryan Sang hit me up and he called it. Oh, you see it in the new Hellraiser 2. I mean, in the reboot, you see it for like 2 seconds,
The
like
wall,
that pillar of like.
kinda.
Yes, the first Hellraiser was the best. You know what? I mean, yeah, I'm the first Hellraiser, in my opinion. That movie it's one of those movies where if you can't sleep at night and you just see like a light, like if you have shades and like a car's coming down and you can see those like the lights through the blind, you're like, oh fuck, dude. Like
There's something about the Hellraiser movies, all of them, even the ones that are garbage. Um, they're very cryptic. Like it's it's like, dude, there's no easy way to explain anything. It's just like that. That's kind of what I think about it is it's you have to come up with your own conclusions, or you really have to look into it to figure out what the hell is really going on. And nothing's ever truly explained. It's more of this is what's happens. This is what the puzzle box does. This is what the Cenobites are doing, but why? And what's the reason? And where do they come from? And who's controlling all this? And none of that is ever answered in any of these movies. And it's always just something. And watching this new reboot, I really liked how there was a lot more focus on the Cenobites and on this one.
and there's more dialogue between people. It was more personal. The new Pinhead like really talked to you. It
So,
wasn't like Doug. It wasn't Doug Bradley going, saying his awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. Like he'd just be there, and you could hear like just his voice echoing, and he just has these classic lines.
right.
Like, you know what I mean? Angels to some, demons to others, and like the box. You opened it. We came.
It's always got to be a punchline from him, bro. Every
Yeah.
time is a
So
punchline.
what you're saying, like I totally agree. Like I feel like the Cenobites, even though some of the Cenobites would talk too. There was like this Asian girl that was like scary, and she had the she kind of had like the thing with her neck, and it went over her head, and she talked, and then
She
and even
she has the best line in the movie, in my opinion.
what did she say?
She says, "Save your breath for screaming."
Oh yeah, that was
That's my favorite
good.
line of the entire movie, actually.
Yeah, no, that was good. Hold on. The Outcast 97 says Hiya Hoya. I don't know what that means, but Hiya back.
Hey, Hoya.
Hiya Hoya. Um, what I was saying is I feel like Pinhead had more like quotes between people, like you know what I mean? Like she'd like bargain with you. Like she was more like, you know what I mean? She's asking you what you want, and she's trying like because she had that Riley girl in the bag, bro. But
Mm-hmm.
she was like, no, you're not done yet. You're gonna finish the task, and you're gonna create what your outcome is with this configuration because you've already opened the box. And then she stabs her with it. And when she stabs her with it, that's like you're ours now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you finish it. You came to start it and now you finish it.
But we also find out that the Cenobites can be sacrificed with each configuration.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
Nobody's safe.
nobody. And so
Nobody.
happens then to what happens to Chatter? Does he
He
Chatterer
got he
back?
got he got messed. I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, so the Cenobites are even a part of this. And Pinhead is called the priest, by the way.
Oh, that's what it was. The Hell Priest.
The Hell Priest, yes. So might be a tough question for you or a tough answer for you. But who did it best? Who did it best? Jamie
I mean,
Clayton
I have to say, I have to go with
or
the original. I
Doug?
have to say, I have to say Doug Bradley.
Right. It's probably an easy answer. I'd say the same. So, but there was also a third actor that played Pinhead.
Oh, he was trash, trash, dude. He shouldn't even be. That guy was trash, bro.
Was he just in the last one, or was he was the last two, right?
Yeah, the Judgment. He was in Hellraiser Judgment, and then he was in Hellraiser, the one where the kids go to Mexico. Like
Yeah.
then somehow they're at like a
Dude,
party and the
so
box comes.
so forgettable, man.
Yeah.
Those interior Hellraiser movies are the most forgettable movies. Like I watched all of them, and I forced myself through them all, and it was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? It's Hellraiser really needed this. Hellraiser really
No,
needed
they did.
it. Needed a reboot, and you know what? They did. They didn't do it. In my opinion, they didn't do an excellent job. You know, they did it justice, and that's what I'll say.
Dude,
They did it justice. And I would be looking forward to a sequel to this for sure.
oh yeah, the director directed Ritual.
Oh, he did. You know
Yeah,
what? Ritual is good. Have you watched that
yeah,
yet?
and I have not seen Ritual yet, and I plan on watching that
You
soon.
know what? That's going to be our next one. I'm choosing the Ritual.
Okay, all right, let's go.
There we go.
Damn, two of the same directors back to back.
Yeah, yeah. I think we're going to have to
Okay,
do
hold
that.
on. Let me ask. Okay, Cali Porvita 408 has been watching for some time now, and why don't we? So we obviously know she loves the first Hellraiser,
Mm-hmm.
but do you go? So for me, I go number one, number two, then Bloodline, which is the fourth one in space, and then three. I think Josh, you may have the same one, or do you think one,
Are
two, three,
we
four?
are we including this reboot in that countdown?
No, we're not including the reboot
Okay.
because yeah,
So you might think I might surprise you, but my number one is Hellbound.
I knew it.
Yeah, I like Hellbound. Then I like the original Hellraiser. Then I'll go three and then Bloodline.
Okay,
Yeah,
mine is obviously one, two, four, three,
yeah.
and and if I were to do with the new one included,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go one, two, reboot, Bloodline, then three.
Yeah, I'd put the reboot as my third favorite as well.
Hey, not bad,
Yeah.
not bad at all
Well,
for
dude,
for.
if it's you're the third, it's the third best Hellraiser movie made, in my opinion, and so that's not saying much with all the other shit Hellraisers that are out there, but it means that it's better than all those other ones that were supposed to be. So it is a win for Hellraiser if you made sure that this reboot is better than all the Hellraiser movies except for the first two. You're a successful reboot for sure.
You know what I liked is that it was one of the few reboots. Like, don't even get me started on that Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street, because that shit was trash when they used somebody new.
You,
I never.
you know what? I'm gonna want to interrupt you real quick. You know what? That reboot didn't bother me that much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but go ahead. I just wanted to say that. Go ahead.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What about Friday the 13th reboot?
See, I didn't like that one more than I didn't like the new Nightmare. A lot of everyone hates the new Nightmare. Not the new Nightmare, not that one, not Wes Craven's New Nightmare, but everyone hates the rebooted A Nightmare on Elm Street. And
Mm-hmm.
truthfully, I'm like, it was okay, but the rebooted Friday the 13th, I couldn't stand it.
All right. What about okay, what about the hell? Oh no, Halloween's Rob Zombie's versions.
I like Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween. I can't stand Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Can't stand it.
Hold on, I am a old school slash. I like the first Nightmare on Elm Street giant. Oh yeah, the first one is so good. I
Yeah.
actually did a TikTok for a TV spot for the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Rob Zombie's movies are weird. Yes, they are definitely weird. I would say my favorite Rob Zombie movie uh, is it's between a House of a Thousand Dead Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, and everything after I just didn't like. It was
There's
trash.
only there's only three Rob Zombie movies I like, and it's the Halloween reboot, it's House of a Thousand Corpses, and The Devil's Rejects. All the other Rob
Yeah,
Zombie movies, I don't like them at all.
creepy as fuck. Who was the horror show? He interviewed the guy. What's his name in House of a Thousand Dead Corpses? The
House.
horror show.
Uh, wait.
Oh, hold on. We got B Maney. B Maney the barber is in the building. What's up, my guy? Uh, fellow Stocktonian. What is going on, man? Thank you for joining. We were just talking about Hellraiser, the reboot. Have you seen it? If you have, let us know in the comments. If you haven't, there are spoilers, but I mean, we've talked mostly about it already, so I don't think there's much more we can. But it would always be nice if you just let us know if you've seen it, and if you have any other movies you would like us to see. Leave a comment below, because that would be awesome.
Yeah, join us. Share our live out there. So yeah, what was it? Horror show who joined us last discussion we had. He interviewed Sid Haig,
Yeah,
which is Spalding,
Captain Spaulding.
Captain Spalding. Yes.
Yes, that was
So,
pretty cool.
and yeah. So he did a whole interview with him, a quick interview. And what was it? Sid Haig he asked Sid Haig what his favorite horror movies were, and I believe he said Cujo. Sid Haig said his favorite horror movie was Cujo.
It's a frightening movie. It's very realistic, you know. I mean, I would hate to have Cujo as my next door neighbor's dog. Shit. Imagine going
Right.
out trying to take the trash out. You got Cujo next door ready to rip your head off every time you come out.
So I wanted to ask you this, and then I'll answer after you answer.
Okay, go ahead. Shoot it from the hip.
The Cenobites, let's just talk about the Cenobites in general. Let's say the Cenobites from the first four Hellraiser movies compared to the Cenobites of this reboot. Now, what are your thoughts? Compare and contrast the Cenobites from Hellraiser, or the original Hellraiser all the way to number 4, which is Bloodline, and this reboot? Compare and contrast.
Um,
Just
okay.
open thoughts about comparing these Cenobites from each other.
So in the new Hellraiser, there's no leather. I like the way that the director used their own skin as their clothing because we all know that when you watch a Hellraiser movie, skin is about to come off and you're about to see what's underneath. And I think that's one of the most frightening things I've ever seen in a horror movie was when I would see Frank without his skin, or I would see the girl in Hellraiser 2. Oh my God, I remember this one scene, and she had all of her, before she wrapped her body with gauze, you could just see her muscles and all of her flesh, and
Right.
she had these bright blue eyes, and you could just, it was just so, it's something that like stays in your head. I think more scarier wise, I still think the original Cenobites were more scary, but I think that the newer Cenobites are way more cooler, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
they got so creative. I didn't know. Like they had that one guy where they literally he had like this halo over his face, and like there's no skull or flesh, it's just his skin.
Yeah.
His skin like is his face. I thought that was so cool. And I would say that the original Cenobite, like if I saw, like, heaven forbid, funny I say that, if I were to see a real Cenobite in real life, I think I would be way more scared of the original ones. And if I saw the new ones, I'd try to like maybe try to make a deal or something, or like try to like
They're
gain more time, or
they're more
it ain't like, oh, we're doing this now. I feel like if it was the ones from the original ones, you're not going anywhere. You're effed.
yeah, they're more approachable in the reboot. And the one that had her skin, opened right here and pulled around,
Yeah.
she
Oh.
actually had a smirk on her face a couple times. Like she was smirking. So it wasn't like anger or scared. She was going
Yeah.
like she was going this.
Dude, the fat guy, the fat or the sorry, the bigger guy, the big guy with the goggles. That guy always scared me too.
Oh yeah, from the original.
Oh, hold on, Horror Show
We got
Official is here.
horror
Hold
shows in
on,
there.
did I just see Horror Show Official join through the invite? Hold on, is he
Yeah,
still here? Is he
yeah.
here? I think Horror Show Official should join because we always enjoy Horror Show Official. We just did our whole thing about Hellraiser. But if you want to, come in and let us know how you feel, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so we're comparing the Cenobites from the first four Hellraisers to the reboot. And what I wanted to say, Dinero just explained his idea of both of them, and I agree with you. The originals are scarier,
Yeah,
uh, and the ones from the reboot are more approachable. But I thought the ones from the reboot, and they were almost, and it's hard to say that they were too perfect, but they were almost too perfect with how smooth their transitions were of their skin, and how like it was all symmetrical and things like that.
yeah. I was just gonna say that. I was
It
just gonna
looked
say that.
more it looked more like it was a makeup job. And then the originals had, it was brutal. It was more brutal. They were more brutal looking. Like, and of course they were wearing leather because it was more about pleasure in those originals than it was about pain in this. So it's like the originals, was it the Hell Priest or the original Pinhead? He had the rings all on, and the blood would be more on this side instead of on this side, and things would not be symmetrical on their heads or whatever. So it was just they were more perfect in the reboot than they were in the originals, and that was kind of my takeaway from comparing the Cenobites.
I can't wait to see what new Cenobites, like if they do a new Hellraiser, a sequel to this reboot. I guarantee you there's gonna be some more ones that are just even more gnarly. I think the people that did, and another thing, I loved how they used practical effects.
It's good.
There was no CGI BS at all.
There was a good amount of CGI in it, but it was not as detectable.
Yeah. You know, with the actual, you know, blood and the way that they got killed, and you know, it was more realistic. And that's one of the things that I really liked about the original, you know, Hellraiser 1, 2, 3, Hellraiser Bloodline, is that it was always practical. Like you see the Cenobites, they're there. There's
Yeah.
no, you know, I always remembered in the third one, it was when CDs were popular, and they had the one guy, and they put a CD in his mouth.
Yeah.
And then he had like 3 CDs in his head. Like that was cool. I like that. That was super cool. That was one of the
That
more
does not
corny, I think, corny
that does not
Cenobites.
that does not stand the test of time. That one for
I
sure.
liked in Bloodline how they had the twins and they conjoined their faces.
Yeah.
That was cool. That
What
was cool.
One of my favorites, and it's in the second one. It's in Hellbound when they have that big old hand that has the drill, and it goes on the guy's head, and he's all like rising up, and he's going,
Dude, because he was a brain surgeon. And
yeah,
so they did brain surgeon on him, bro. And remember when it was like, it was all rattling his brain. He's all, blah, blah. He was like, he's all talking and, oh shit, here we go.
yeah. I saw. I'm sorry, Horror Show. I didn't see the request. I don't know how long you were throwing it on there. I didn't see it until right now. So sometimes I just get all just hopped up on on talking about stuff. I don't know how long he's had his invite there, so or his request there. But if Horror Show joins us, we're more than welcome to love to have him on. So
hello there.
Oh, there he is.
I remember you're supposed to press there's like an icon that you press with the camera or something.
I'm trying to figure out how to get the camera going.
You press on top. There's like a camera, and it has an X, like a mark on it, and then you click that, and then it opens it up.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out this live stuff.
I know.
It's not going. You could talk for now.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, that's all good.
So you guys enjoyed it all together, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't given our final rating as of yet. So, but overall, it seems to be that it is above average. Oh, now we lost Kenny's face too.
Oh no. So if you press Horror Show, if you press your icon like what I'm doing, like if you press your like where it shows your face, I would press it, and then there's gonna be on the top left corner a camera, and then there's like a microphone, and then if you press that camera, like if I go like this, like now it shows my face, and if I go like that.
Live access needed to go live on a video as a guest. You can go live on audio. I don't get that.
Weird. Okay.
Weird.
I don't know how we did it last time. I don't know. TikTok, I'm still trying to figure out TikTok, dude.
This is the bad thing about the app. It's constantly changing. So every time I figure something out about it, they switch it. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to do anymore. So I don't even think what we did last time applies anymore.
I know, right?
Truthfully, I've seen a lot of different things. I got so many things. There's like at least 12 different things I can press on my screen right now while I'm live. And unfortunately, I can't do more than like one thing at once. So me going like this and trying to do you scroll through those random lives on TikTok and you see people going like this and moving things around, like, bro, just tunnel vision.
Yeah. I'm gonna Google this really quick. You guys can keep talking. I'm gonna Google this.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we were saying is, we were saying that basically, in my opinion, I felt like the original Cenobites would be way more scarier in real life if I saw them than the ones in the reboot. But I still love the ones in the reboot because they were so. Is the word pretty? I don't know. They were just like they were very easy on the eyes to look at, but they were so grotesque at the same time. I don't know. It was very
It was
interesting, you know?
it was like
I'm not
there
I'm
was.
not gonna lie, I thought it was creepier in the trailer. For
Mhm.
some reason, like seeing it like more of them, they didn't scare me as much as I thought they were. They look
No,
cool.
yeah, they didn't scare me either. I was just more like us, like amused by trying to see like how they were created, you know, like what part of their body was like twisted and contorted and cut to make them who they were, you know?
Right. Right. It was more. It almost, and even the looks on their faces. It seemed, if you could see their faces, some of them were covered, but
Right?
it was more. It was the original was more. I saw more pain in the Cenobites' face. This one, I saw more pleasure in their faces, at least, because I mentioned this earlier. Is the one that had her throat was kind of open and it was torn around her like this. She smirked a few times. She kind of had
Yeah, she
like
did.
that. So she's liking this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I never really saw some of the old Cenobites, the original Cenobites, seeming like they liked being a Cenobite.
You know, I think for me, I enjoyed it, but I think it was missing one thing that Hellraiser does that no other horror franchise does. It doesn't feel kinky enough. The original Hellraiser had like a more S&M sexual element that made it feel a little strange and off, and it made you uncomfortable. Whereas like they look cool, but they came across more as straight demons to me and a
Well,
little bit more conventional.
there was all pain but no pleasure, right?
Good point.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's I nice, nice. I
Well,
completely.
remember in the first one, right? Like when you would see the pillar of torture or whatever the pillar was where you would see, Pinhead's face, like if you like really pause and you look what else is going on that pillar, there's a lot of stuff that you can't show. Like, there's I remember I put it on pause and there was a few things on the bottom of the pillar that were gigantic and looked very scary. Yeah, it's just, and then there was like, yeah, there was a lot of sexual innuendo stuff going on.
So anything anything that you noticed in the reboot, looks like we lost him for a second. But I'll ask you this, Kenny, or K Dinero. Anything that you noticed that was very similar or almost paid homage to the older Hellraiser movies in the reboot?
Yeah, well, there was a scene where the new school chatter uh, is seen when Riley is like dreaming, and her boyfriend like literally puts both of his fingers in her mouth. And in the first Hellraiser, Chatterbox does the same thing to that one girl. He does the same, like, like he looks like he's gonna like strangle her, but like the first thing he does is puts his two fingers in her mouth. And it's really weird, man. Like when I was watching that scene with them on the bed, there's the picture of a chair in the background, and the chair almost looks like Chatterbox. It's so crazy, or the Chatter, or whatever the hell his name is. But I thought that they paid homage to that, like big time, like foreshadowing.
Right.
So I don't know, that was one of the bigger ones. What about you?
Um, just a couple. There's a lot, of course, that pays homage to the old one, but the two that stood out were pretty obvious. Number one is the score towards the end. It was pretty much the same score, but a the same melody, but using different types of music. And the original score is excellent. And you know me, I'm a score guy. I love a good score. I'm weird like that to where I'll actually save all these scores. I'll create a playlist on YouTube or on Spotify of all these horror scores and play them during Halloween. So even not even during Halloween, I'll just play them. But that, and then towards the end of the movie, on top of the mansion, you have the big, huge. Is it the Leviathan configuration?
Yeah, the final one
Is the Leviathan, right? And
where
that
it looks
on
like
top, yeah, that one's on top of the mansion. And at the end of Hellbound, the big old Leviathan is on top with the lightning crashing all over it. So I
Yep.
thought you kind of paid homage to that scene as well, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I thought they used the score when you thought that the score wasn't going to be the score, and when you could have the absolute right time to hear it,
Mm-hmm.
you heard it, and it's almost like when I watched. This is kind of random. When I watched the new Maverick Top Gun, right? Um, when it would be a cool scene, there was that famous bell that you would hear in Top Gun. It was that Top Gun bell,
Mm-hmm.
right? But in Hellraiser and the new one, they have this one sound. It's not like a bell sound, but it's like you hear this sound and you know the Cenobites are coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's this one sound, and I can't. I don't know if it's a bell too, but it rings. You hear a ring, and you know something's gonna go down. Okay. Oh, it says invite horror show official. Do you want to press invite or
I
do
got
I
it.
invite?
Here we go.
Oh, and let's see if it works now.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find anything. It's like all dated, so it's okay.
It's all good.
So
Yeah.
I've been trying to find out how I do a split screen on live too, because I've seen that before, and I've been trying to figure that out too. And there's nothing really online that's really helps. So I'm not even sure how to even do a split screen either. So
I'm
What
gonna
if
have
I
to
go?
ask somebody myself because I've seen that so many times. It's like, how do you people figure it out this quick?
yeah. So, but yeah, what were we saying? We were talking about, if anything from the reboot, of course, pays homage to the original, and of course, tons of it does. But if there's anything that stood out, I don't know. Is there anything that stood out to you about anything that kind of, brought you back to the original? To the original.
I'll be honest with you, not really, other than like a couple of lines where they kind of like repeat some of the things that they said. But it was such a different story that it didn't really take me back to the original Hellraiser, which was fine. I didn't need it to. It's a reboot, but
Mm-hmm.
now I feel dumb because I didn't because I'm pretty sure that there's something there, but whatever it was, it flew over my head and I've seen it twice.
Yeah, yeah, same. And you said you read the book or the books,
Yeah,
and
love
and
them.
and how much is this like the book at all? Is the book more like? I'm guessing the book's more like the original, of course.
The book's more like the original,
Mm.
and I think the most faithful thing about it is the portrayal of Pinhead is closer to what you would picture was in the original novel. But
Mm.
other than that, this is like a story that they don't even come close to approaching in either of the books. Either I haven't read the comic books. There's like a whole comic book series out there
Oh
too.
wow.
I haven't gotten hold of that, so there's like a ton of mythology behind this. But just based on the Hellbound Heart and the Scarlet Gospels, way different. Just it's a completely new story.
Okay, all right, good, because I didn't want to sound stupid or anything saying it was like the book or something, because I haven't even touched those. So
Oh yeah, the
I've
books
read
are great.
all the Stephen King books that made into movies, but I didn't read. I haven't read any of the Clive Barker stuff, so maybe I should.
Clive Barker is a lot more twisted than
Mhm.
Stephen King, more disgusting and more detail with like grotesque shit, and it's freakier. It's a lot
Oh
freakier than Stephen
nice.
King.
Sounds way better, because Stephen King gets lost sometimes when you're reading some of his.
Stephen
Just goes on
Stephen
and
King is more about like, the characters and like kind of
yeah.
getting to know the characters, and there's like a warmth to his like books where like there's
Right.
like good guys and bad guys. In Clive Barker's horror, it's hard to tell who's good and who's bad. Everybody's just kind of compromised and shady. It's not like as safe or comforting as Stephen King's. It's
Mm,
definitely a stranger experience.
okay. Nice.
They're
Nice.
nothing alike. Their writing styles are like nothing alike. They're worlds apart.
Okay. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to check it out for sure. So, but any Dinero, anything we might have left out? Anything you want to say about
Um,
Hellraiser?
besides,
I think I've mostly got out what I needed to say. I wondered if you had anything that you want to continue discussing about it?
Like I enjoyed the movie. Watching it the second time, I got to see a lot more stuff that I missed. I thought it was cool. Like I totally like paused it when they showed pages of the book just so I could kind of read more into it. Um, I liked the fact that they had different configurations, but again, like for being a reboot, I thought they did a good job. It was completely different than the original, and they didn't screw it up. That's for sure. I mean,
Right.
it could have been just an absolute mess. So, I whenever you're ready for me to give me the review, I'm totally down for it, man.
Yeah. Before we do that, I want to hit up Horror Show to see if there's anything particular, with Hellraiser, the reboot that you kind of wanted to mention or maybe discuss, or we kind of give our final reviews here.
I kind of like the new lament configuration and all the details and all the different levels. It seems a lot like more intricate than it was in the original. In the original, you just kind of twist it and then it kind of comes out and the Cenobites come. I
Mm-hmm.
like that they added a lot of the stuff with the different dimensions and it's the way it moves. I hope that they sell that fucking thing. I want to be able to like own
Yeah,
one. So it could like
yeah.
I would love to open that out and take it out to show it off. But yeah, I thought it was it was a pretty interesting take. It's not what I expected it to be. And I did enjoy it, but I'm not gonna lie and say that I wasn't a little disappointed because the trailer made it look a little freakier than it ended up being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny you say, you want to get, actual replica of the puzzle box and all the configurations. I said that I'm just going to go way off base here. I said that when I watched the Babadook that I wanted a real version of that book to read to my kids. So, because I thought it was great, but of course, I don't want the Babadook to come after us. That, but still, it'd be awesome to have an actual replica of that book to read to them. So anyway, side note,
They should definitely get on that. I'm
I
surprised.
think
They have one?
no, no, oh no, not that I know of. I've never really looked it up, but I haven't seen one around, But I think they should get on that for sure.
I'm gonna look this up.
He's like, I want to know now.
Yeah. The Babadook book replica.
Yeah,
They do sell them.
they do. I got to sit down with my kids and read it to them.
Oh yeah, it looks just like the movie. Oh yeah, they sell them.
Okay. All right. Well, that might be my
Hey,
next.
Christmas is coming up, Josh.
Christmas is coming up. Give them the Babadook book.
Bro, what's this? It's a new
It even
book.
has
Go
the
read
pop-ups
it.
and everything.
It has the pop-ups too. Awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, hold on. Hey,
Cool.
Luke Daniels says, "Have you seen Terrifier 2?" I have seen it. I watched it last night.
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. I still haven't watched it yet. What did Chris? Did Bobby Bubblebath give you his login to see it, or what?
You know what? I'm not gonna say anything, but your boy does have some connections, so
Oh,
I was able to see the movie. But I saw the movie, and let me tell you, man, if you want gore, you're gonna get gore, and it's in your face, dude.
Beautiful.
But we could talk about that a whole nother time. But
Yeah.
I liked it, dude. It was a cool movie, and I don't want to spoil it for you, horror movie dad. But I will say this: mashed potatoes, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I won't spoil it, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you've already heard. This is like the goriest horror movie I've seen in quite some time. In fact, probably in years. I haven't seen a horror movie this gory in years.
And that's what a bunch of like horror movie fans and horror heads have been telling me. He's like, "Oh, yeah, it's the best ever. It's
Josh,
it's the greatest ever." So,
horror movie dad, you would love the beginning intro music to Terrifier 2, which was really good too. I didn't expect them to have some really cool music to open up the movie with, but it was something I actually went on Spotify, and you can listen to it on Spotify. So
I will sucker for a good score, man. So
Didn't it seem like if you didn't know better, like it could have been like a forgotten 80s slasher movie that just slipped by your radar? Even like the look of it felt very retro on the score.
Oh yeah.
Everything. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
I mean we've all seen the first one. I think like I think Art the Clown is like just an icon. Like he was that horror movie character that came out and you know in the last few years. What was his first appearance again? It was not
All
Terrifier. He
Hallows
was
Eve.
what was that?
All,
All Hallows Eve.
yeah,
Yes, yes. And they did like that was some man. I just the whole presence of a clown and a mime, and he's funny though. He's like you like him because he makes you laugh, but even though he makes you laugh, like the shit he'll do to you is just like brutal, man. Like this.
It's fucking cruel.
Yeah, he's definitely got a bag of tricks, that's for sure.
all right. God, I feel so late to the party. I'm so bad.
I think you'll
Well, you
enjoy it
go
when you
see
see
it,
it.
dude.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the one thing that happens with me is I don't have so much time to watch horror movies as much as I used to, because now I have the family and the kids and everything. So it's always got to be, the kids are still a little too young to be watching this stuff with me. So I always got to wait till, they're in bed or something like that. So my time is a lot slimmer. So I have this huge watch list of like hundreds and hundreds of horror movies that I want to watch. And it's always like, I got time. I'm like, okay, well, which one am I going to choose now?
How old are your kids?
My daughter just turned 11 and my son is 9.
Okay. Every kid is different, so I can't really say, but I was a weird little kid. I was watching horror movies when I was like 5 or 6. I I did it like my parents were separated since I was little, so every time I would go to my dad's house
Mm-hmm.
as a kid, it was like go to the video store, go to the horror section, and whatever I wanted, I had access to.
That's
So that's kind of what made me a horror fan is my dad letting me see
mhm.
whatever the hell I wanted when I spent weekends with him.
Nice.
It's crazy that you say that. You know what is so awesome about growing up? We had VHS tapes and DVDs and going to Hollywood Video, Blockbuster, or even your local mom and pop's rent place. Like now that we have Tubi and Pluto and even Amazon Prime, when Amazon
Yeah.
Prime first started streaming, it was like they had all the VHS and DVD horror movies, the covers that you saw as a kid, but you never saw the movie.
Right.
And so like now it's like, oh man, dude, I remember seeing that right next to that. And I was like, fuck, I can see it now. Like, what's it called? Humanoids of the Deep, bro. Like I always saw
Such a
Humanoids
good
of the
movie.
Deep. Like the rental, like the box, like, oh shit, because I like Jaws and I like, horror movies by the ocean and shit like that. And so when I saw it with you, I was like, damn, man, like, how come I never seen this shit? And now you stream it and it's like gold.
Right. Right. And I have a kind of a similar story with my dad too. I probably maybe not as young as 5, but I was probably about 8 years old, and my dad used to sit. I used to sit right next to him, and he used to put the VHS tape in, and we'd be watching Aliens, and we watched The Thing and Poltergeist and all that stuff. And I remember my mom would always go. She's like, "Oh, well, I'm going upstairs," and so it was just. It was us just watching those horror movies, so he kind of got me into that too, and and then me kind of being born around Halloween and always having sleepovers and stuff. It was always that horror movie night for sleepovers with a bunch of friends. So, but
You know,
that's what God.
growing up, I thought all kids liked horror movies, and then when I was a teenager, I was babysitting some of my cousins, and I made the mistake of putting a horror movie on because I used to have friends who liked horror movies when we were kids, and my cousins, like my older cousins, we used to watch horror movies together, and it freaked them out so bad. I felt bad. I had to put The Little Mermaid on after, and that was like the moment I realized, okay, not all kids like horror movies. You're just sick.
What's funny is like I'm not gonna get into too detail, but it's like you mentioned like the Little Mermaid, and it's like they have like I remember I was getting tattooed, and when my Al he mentioned he's like yeah man, this guy came in and he wanted to get the Little Mermaid tattooed on him, like the actual, like the cover. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but make sure it's the original one because I want
With the
everything in the
penis?
background. And I was like, well, what the hell is in the background?
The
Like, we're not
penis.
gonna say it, but if you look it up, you'll see.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Everyone knows about that.
Okay, but I'm just saying I don't want to mention it, you know what I mean? But he's
I
like,
still
make
have
sure you do the
the VHS.
original.
I got that original VHS tape, man.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
dude.
cool. That's a collector's item now.
It is. I'm
What?
of it.
Damn, Josh, you sitting on gold, man.
Not gonna lie, I like those movies.
Oh yeah,
I like The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin. I grew up on that too. It's just
oh
that
yeah,
and horror movies.
for
Hey,
sure.
man, it's all
Got,
good shit, you
got a
know?
good balance, So,
Yeah.
but all right, I'll get us back to center here. So, K Dinero, I'm coming to you since it was your choice that we discussed Hellraiser 2022 on this D3 Dad and Dinero discussions. Um, you're first to give us your review out of 5 stars here. So
I'm gonna go
go for
ahead. I'm gonna say I liked the movie. I watched it twice. I liked it again. I think I'm being very generous, but I don't want to be too biased because I picked the movie and I really liked it. But it's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but it's watchable, and I can't wait to see what they bring next if they do. So I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give them a 3.5 out of 5, dude. I
okay.
would just, if it was, I don't know, like 3 out of 5, like was what I was going for when I first watched it. But then I liked it more when I watched it the second time.
Mm-hmm.
So because I watched it the second time and I liked it, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. But I don't know what you guys are gonna do. Might be a little bit lower, but I'm being generous. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So
Hey, dude, stand by it and stand by it
yeah.
first, bro. Don't let anybody give you shit.
Well, no, I'm just saying. That's how that was my review.
Okay, nice. Horror show. Do you want to give a rating out for this or?
Sure, I had the opposite experience. On the first viewing, I gave it 3.5. On the second viewing, I noticed some of the elements that I was missing from Hellraiser a little more, and I would put it at a 3. But I mean, my threes are high. I think anything that's 3 stars and above is a recommendation. Maybe it's not the highest recommendation, but if it's 3 stars, that's a positive review. It's just, I wish it would, I just wanted more out of it. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted more out of it. But I did enjoy it, and it's definitely worth a watch. It's not a bad movie by any means.
Right, right. So yeah, when I first watched it, I ended up finding myself kind of not dozing off, but kind of not paying attention, and then coming back in and going in and out, and I wasn't too big of a fan when I first watched it, and then K Dinero, you mentioned for me, you got to watch it again. So after I first watched it, I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars, which is that's the dead center. So that's basically
Yeah,
average. And I agree with you, Horror Show, in saying that anything 3 stars and above it
positive.
means it's a positive review, and it means if you give something 3 stars, that means you did enjoy it a little bit. And after watching it a second time, I raised it up a half star to go 3 out of 5 stars with this one. And I was surprised that I did that too because I actually really enjoyed like the whole ending sequence was like it was about 40 minutes long of them being in that mansion at the end, and I thought
Yeah.
the entire just everything that was happening. I like the Cenobites better in the original, but everything that was happening, it just kept my interest, and I was always looking to try to see if I can find something new going on with these Cenobites for the second time around. So, but yeah, that's my final. I'll give it 3 out of 5 stars, and yeah, we'll go from there.
I agree. I think the last 40 minutes does a lot for the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like because there's a lot of things about it I found shaky up to a point, but the last 40 minutes are straight solid the whole way through.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's what it did for me too. So I felt I was being too rude by giving it 2.5. So I had to put up a little bit there.
Real quick, what did you guys think? Okay, so let's go back to the first Hellraiser, right? And we're gonna
Five
go to
stars.
this. What?
5 out of 5.
Wow.
For me,
Ooh,
the original, yes, that's a classic to me. That's an all-timer. And I don't even think that's a perfect movie. I think it has like flaws in it. I don't care though.
we're right. It's your personal,
Yeah.
Dude, Kenny, what would you give the original? That's your favorite horror movie,
Oh,
isn't it?
yeah, 5 out of 5.
Okay, okay. So I'm the only odd one. I would give it 4. So,
Well, I
but
mean,
Four
it's
is very good.
a great review still. But it's so.
hey, you know how they say different strokes for different folks. This is different chains for different pains.
Dude, how long you saving that one, bro? You save that till the end?
No, no, that actually just came up in my
Of
head. But what I
course.
wanted to wait. So, horror show official, what was your review? What was your score for the reboot again?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Okay. What I wanted to mention, which was a very prominent thing that happens in both of the movies, is I will say I liked the exchange of the box better in the original than the reboot. I thought that the reboot was like kind of lame in the beginning, where some guy is just sitting on a. I mean, I know it's realistic, but it's just it was just this guy that like had a box and this girl picks it up and like it's just like this exchange. Whereas in the first one, it was like you see is it Frank or who is it? It was Frank
Frank
who
is
got
what,
the box, right?
yeah, Frank.
You see Frank, right? And you don't know where the hell he is. It looks like a set from the first Indiana Jones, bro. Like you don't know if you're in like Saudi Arabia or if you're like what country are you in, bro?
He's
And like,
sweaty though. He's sweaty.
dude, he's so sweaty and you could see the grime
Glisten.
underneath his nails and
Yeah.
like he goes to this like evil merchant and he goes, "What's your pleasure?" And it's just like, oh man, like that was good. And then this new
Ye-
one, I'm just like, wish you guys could have done a better exchange, man.
Okay, all right. As a Hellraiser fan, you actually brought up an issue I have with this movie and how it kind of toys with the mythology of this a little bit. A big reason people pick up the box in the first place is out of a sense of desire. And in the second Hellraiser, I forgot what the doctor's name was in Hellbound. He has that little girl open it for him,
Hmm.
and they walk right past the little girl because Pinhead says it's desire that calls us, not
Yeah.
hands. And I
Yep.
don't like that you could just trick somebody into it and like they open it and they just come for you and it cuts you like that. I'm like, the cutting part is cool, but I'm like, it's about desire. It's about people who are bored with life, who've like experienced every form of pleasure that they could imagine, and they want something new. They want to be taken to new heights. So I'm like, that kind of like loses a little bit of something when you can just trick somebody into opening it, and the Cenobites don't care about that. That's bothered me a little bit. Like it was didn't seem right.
Dude, that sounds great. I didn't even think about that. So that
I
is
agree.
now that you mentioned that, yeah, that is annoying.
Yeah,
So
it's about desire, not
yeah,
just.
right, right. So all right. Well, I don't know any more last words from anyone. From me, I don't
I
think I. Or I think I've. I'm looking at my notes. So you see me like kind of scouring through the notes that I had. So, but I think I mentioned everything. So, but Kenny, anything else, man? You good?
mm, I'd recommend it for anybody that watches horror movies, and they did a good job on it. And I honestly think if they do a sequel, it's gonna be all right. We're in good hands, like the insurance company, whatever the hell it's called. But
All
yeah,
state.
Yes, you're in good hands.
Pedro Serrano.
Oh, he's the guy?
Yeah, Pedro Serrano is the Allstate guy.
Good knowledge.
Yeah.
Hey, do you mind if I do? I wanted to mention something really quick, and it's a little off. It's just
Yeah.
circling back.
Yeah.
You mentioned Terrifier 2 earlier. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to find other ways to plug this. I'm actually working on a movie with that actor who plays Art the Clown, David Howard Thornton.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I'm producing a movie with him. If anybody wants to check it out, the project is being funded through Indiegogo. Ran a crowdfunding campaign, and we met our goal in the first month, so we could stay up until the movie starts shooting. But yeah, we got like a script and everything. But he is the villain of a film that I'm producing right now.
Dude, hell
Uh,
yeah. Dude, congratulations, man. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
that's great. That's great, and I can't
That's
wait.
great to hear, man.
I hope it go. I hope it go. I hope it, you're able to follow through with it all, and it goes all through because I'm ready for sure.
Oh, it's gonna go through. We're just trying to
Oh,
get a bigger budget because, like, the bigger the budget, the better the movie's gonna come out, the better it's gonna look. But
mhm.
if we started the campaign when Terrifier 2 came out, like right around the time, and I think it was just great timing. That campaign would have been hard to have met our goal. Because on Indiegogo, if you don't meet your goal within a month, are stuck with what you're stuck with. But if you meet it, you can stay up and you could keep raising funds. And if it wasn't for the fact that Terrifier 2 wasn't making such like big waves and people were talking about it, we might not have met that goal. Like, so that was perfect timing for it.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
That's great. Yes, it is extremely awesome.
That's music to my ears.
Yeah, I'm ready. So keep us in the know about all this for sure, because we'll
Yeah,
be more lives down the line, and so we're more than happy to mention it as it keeps going.
yeah. It's called The Dead Place.
The
So,
Dead Place.
yes.
Nice.
All right, sounds good. Well, K Dinero Horror Show. Thank you very much. Successful Dad and Dinero discussions. I will have this saved. I will have it uploaded on my YouTube channel, Dad Watches Horror Movies, within the next week or so. So if anyone kind of missed the whole thing, or because we were on here, it's almost an hour and a half we've been live.
Yeah.
So if you want to go back and watch it, anyone, you can. And if you want to watch previous Dad and Dinero discussions, there's 42 others on our YouTube on the YouTube page. So check it out, and we'll go from there. And we'll probably 2 weeks from now we'll get another one, discuss another horror movie. And I think it's my choice, but I think I already mentioned that we were going to discuss The Ritual because it's the same director.
And I haven't seen it yet, so I'm
I haven't
excited to
seen
watch
The
it.
Ritual.
Yeah,
I have not seen it.
I watched it when it first came out. I think it was like 2017 when it was released, and that's when I watched it. And I've only watched it once, and I enjoyed it. So I want to watch it again and then have a discussion about it. And anyone is welcome to join Horror Show. You're welcome. Kate and
Thank
Dinero
you.
have to be there because it's called Dad and Dinero Discussion, so you don't have a choice.
Yep.
So,
By the way, that director has another movie called The Night House.
The Night.
I saw that one too. I saw that.
Oh,
That was good. That was solid.
I saw that.
I haven't seen
It's good.
Okay,
It's a good story.
Put it on my watch list of 700 other movies that I got. So,
all right, you gotta watch. Hey, Josh,
yeah,
the two movies you gotta see: Terrifier 2, and then you gotta see Smile. You gotta see Smile.
Yeah, you told me about Smile, so I need to make sure I watch that too. So I got two on my list to go for.
Very good.
So, all right. Well, thank you very much, K Dinero. Thank you very much, Horror Show Official, and we'll be seeing everybody else again. We'll be doing this again for sure.
And then join us too, Horror Show Official. Like you're great at this, man. It's fun, dude. It's a great back and forth.
By the way, just so we're a little less formal, you guys can just call me James.
James.
James. Yeah.
All right, James.
All right. Well, James, I am Josh.
Thank you, James.
I am Josh, and you've heard K Dinero. I've called him Kenny a couple times, so that's what the K stands for. So there we go. First name basis.
Josh and Kenny.
There it is.
Yes, sir.
There it is. All right, guys. Thanks again. This was awesome, and we'll get to it again.
All right.
Thank you,
Till
everyone
next time.
who participated. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Have a good one.
Later.
You too.